Good morning. I've got me this much, about 2 chicken egg sizes of, I'm using lard today. Sometimes I use other things. You use whatever you want to make a good biscuit. So how's everybody been a-doing? And here's my buttermilk. I'm gonna put in about 2 cups, I guess. 1.5 cups, something like that. I've been doing great since the snow melted. I'm so excited that it's gone. I couldn't get out. I couldn't go anywhere because we're not used to driving in it in the South. We're not used to it. And so I'm glad it's gone. I don't know. I guess I think it's beautiful and it's pretty for a day, maybe 2. And then I'm ready for it to go. I'm ready for it to leave. As my mama used to say, those tail lights look so good when y'all are leaving. In other words, when you are become an empty nester, okay? You're an empty nester. You and your husband have gotten your children grown. They are gone. They are on their own. They're having babies of their own, and you're excited for them. And that's how God intended it. But then they come back to visit. And you're glad to see them. Oh my gosh. It's wonderful. You just hug them and kiss them and cook good food for them. And y'all laugh and talk and everything. And then all of a sudden the house gets to looking like a disaster area. Are y'all hearing me? I mean, it's looking bad. You got clothes everywhere, dirty towels everywhere, some towels hanging up on your good furniture where they're trying to dry them. Anyway, you're just going to pull that around in there and making it. Don't work it too long, though. I got my oven set on 500. But anyway, your house gets to looking so that it's driving you nuts. And you've run out of whatever you're going to cook. You're thinking, well, what can I cook today? Well, what can I cook today? So finally you tell them, so let's all go out to eat. I'll pay for it. Oh, goodness. So you do that. But I am telling you, when they leave, when the taillights leave and you're exhausted, you want to get your house back in order, but you can't. What do? You want me to tell you what you do? You get down there in the couch, on the couch, and your husband gets in the lazy boy. You lay down on the couch, and he gets in the lazy boy, and he starts going to sleep. And then you rest. That's what you do. And you don't cook him any supper. You say, well, we're just going to eat some leftovers or something. I have cooked all week. I'm not cooking another thing. I know what you do. You know how I know? Because I'm a mama. I'm a grandmama. And I know how that little game is played. So, that is why in the Bible, it tells the mama, the boy and the girl to leave their parents and cleave to your wife, and cleave to your husband. And why? Because that's how it's supposed to be. So don't be sad when they leave. Thank God when they leave, because that means that you did something right. And that he has moved them on to higher ground with their little babies. And one day, whatever happens to you, it's going to happen to them too. Their babies are going to leave them, and they'll have an empty nest. And you'll be a great-grandparent then. And you'll get to hold them. They'll say to you, sit down, I'm going to let you hold the baby. They won't let you hold it standing up. Afraid you might fall or something. They're over-parenting because they don't know yet. Okay, here's how you get your grease off your hand and everything. You just put a little flour on it and rub them together, and it'll come off. And you can use that flour later. You sift it and use it again. Here's my pan I'm going to use today. It's this one. My round one that I had, it broke. It's not doing well. So I set it outside. I guess I could cook maybe some toast on it or something like that. But that's about it. All right, I've got my little can from my biscuit cutter that y'all seen a zillion times. And I'm just going to cut my biscuit out like that. And I'm going to lay it right here on this pan. And I'm going to do it like that. All right. It's going to be quick and easy. We used to go to my mother and daddy's all the time, and mother always cooked big and everything, and it was so good. I love my mama's cooking. Oh, I miss it. She was a great cook. Absolutely wonderful cook. And daddy thought that he had to have he just had to have him a dessert at every meal. I mean, ain't that something? He literally had a dessert at every meal. Mother would make, sometimes she'd make a pie, sometimes she'd make a cobbler, sometimes she would make a cake, and sometimes she would make cookies or some kind of pie, like a chocolate pie, or she made a lot of pecan pies and coconut pies. I guess those were the three that she made the most. Pecan, coconut, and chocolate. That was her go-to pies. And they were all delicious and good. But in the afternoon, well, they had their dessert after their meal every time. At supper and at lunch or dinner. But in the afternoon, in their old age, they both took a nap. And they took a nap in the den, in their chair. Do your parents do that? I don't do that yet, but maybe when I get older I will. Right now, I'm 79, and I don't know when I'm going to start taking a nap, but I don't take them. But anyway, Mother and Daddy would take their nap in their chair, their lazy boy chair. And so Daddy, in the wintertime, he would read for instance, the Sunday newspaper. And he would open that paper up like this and lay it on his chest and body. He'd just have it like that, and he'd just lay it down on him. And he said it kept him warm. And one day I was in there laying on my couch, and there were some papers in there, and I was kind of cold, and my blanket wasn't right there with me, so I thought, I'm going to try what Daddy did. I'm going to put this paper over the top of me. And y'all, it works. It absolutely works. I'm telling you. That's not quite enough. I'm going to get another little bitty skillet. Y'all give me a minute. I'm going to make just a few more. Let me get a little grease to put on the top of this thing so it won't stick. I'll just get some of this. Smear it around in there a little bit. So, anyway, that's what Daddy did. I'm kind of cooking for a crowd today, so I want to make sure I've got enough biscuits. I'll do this little pan, that'll make enough. Here's 25 right here. This holds 25, 5 across and 5 down. For all you math students in there, you multiply the length times the width. And how many you've got in that. So I've got 5 going down and 5 going across, so that's 25. You don't have to individually count them. All right, let's do this one out now. And I think we'll have a plenty. Anyway, that method that I'm telling you about with the paper, it works. I think you see a lot of homeless people in some cities, not in ours, but in some cities you see homeless people that are in cardboard boxes and such as that. Well, that's because that cardboard holds that heat in there. They know how to do. And they probably do like Daddy. They probably covered up with some of that newspaper. All right, we're coming right along here. And I'll put one in the middle. I'll just roll it together. I'm going to show you how your grandmother did it. She rolled it like that sometimes. Oop, there's one sticking out. She rolled it. She put it in her pan like that. And then she took the back of her hand and she pressed it down like that. Sometimes you could see her fingerprints in it. All right, I'm going to put these on in just a few minutes and to cook. It's not quite time to cook them. I'm going to wait about 10 minutes. So during that time, y'all just sit tight. We're going to put them in the oven, then I'm going to show you how they look when they come out, okay? Be back in a jiff. Okay, y'all. It's time to put our biscuits in. We're going to put this pan, I've got my oven preset on 500. And for those of you who are just now becoming my followers, let me tell you something. The reason you cook your biscuits on 500 is this. You want them to cook real quickly. Now, I'm not fixing to time mine because it makes a difference on how thick they are. It makes a difference on how, what kind of pan you've got it in. And it makes a difference what kind of oven you've got. If it's gas or if it's electric or wood or whatever. So you're going to have to look at your biscuits. And what you want to do is you want to look in there and see how brown they are. And so that's what you're going to do. And when they get like you want them, you're going to take them out. I don't like mine real brown. I like mine kind of just light brown. If you cook a biscuit, let's say you cook it at 350 degrees. Well, here's what's going to happen. It's going to take a long time to cook your biscuits. A lot longer than 500 for sure. And that every minute that biscuit stays in that oven, it gets drier and drier and drier. So you're going to have an old, hard, dry biscuit. So you got to turn your oven up, y'all. Don't be afraid to turn your oven up. I do it a lot of times. If I'm cooking even a roast and I've got it in my pan, I got my potatoes and carrots and all that stuff around it, and I'm in a hurry and I want it to get done, I will turn my oven up to 500 degrees and I'll cook that stuff that's in my oven at 500 degrees probably for 20, 25, 30 minutes. Then I turn my oven down to 350 and I don't open the door and I let it cook. And the reason I do that is I want my roast or whatever I'm cooking to get hot quick so I can get done. If I have it on 350, it's going to take forever for the pan and the roast to even get hot, much less start cooking. All right, now while that's doing that, I'm going to scramble these eggs right here. I'm going to turn them on high. I've got them beaten up so much. I've got bubbles on the top. I have heated up this pottery bowl right here. This is what I'm going to put them in, right here. Actually, this is a pie plate, but it's a real thick one. And I've warmed it because I don't want to put my eggs in a cold bowl. Y'all, you don't want cold eggs, do you? Huh? You don't want cold eggs? You people that are watching this morning, I hope you are following Cooking with Brenda Gantt. When you see Cooking with Brenda Gantt on your YouTube, look down under the Cooking with Brenda Gantt. If there is another name down there, or anything in real little letters under my name, it'll have another name. And if it's under there, that means it's not me. They copied my video, but it's not me. And sometimes this happens. There's another name under there, and the person's name that's under there, they don't even know it's under there. It's somebody else that stuck their name under there. And fooling them too. So, y'all got to be careful. I'm telling you, you've got to be careful. Find my name. I think right now, the last time I looked, and y'all have to help me with this, I think I had 139,000 followers, so that'll help you. If you see it and it doesn't have that many followers, well, you go, that's not me. I've got 139 on YouTube. I think that's what it is. I hadn't looked in the last week or two, but right now that's what I think. I've got these eggs turned on high, and I've got a flat thing that I'm stirring them with, and it's hard. It's a hard thing, and I do this because I don't want my eggs sticking in there. And I don't want to cook them slow. I want to cook them fast. That's how I do it. I'll be back in just a minute. Hey, you see how they're doing it, and I'm scraping it. I hadn't left it. I've done it the whole time y'all been over here. Just keep scraping the bottom, pushing those little things up. I've got about 22 eggs in here. And I'm not leaving it. I did turn it down to 8. I had it on high till it could get hot and start cooking, and then I turned it down to 8. And I'm doing this while my biscuits are cooking. I'll tell you something else. Here are my fried pies back here. And the reason I don't have foil over them, I've got a cloth over them, is you want them to breathe. You only put foil over stuff that you want not to breathe. Like I've got it on top of my grits right now. I've got foil on them because I'm fixing to take them up. All right, here are the eggs. Don't cook them forever. When they get done like this, immediately pour them up. Wow, it's heavy. Woo. All right. That's a pile of eggs. And here's where it's stuck just a little bit at the bottom. You don't scrape that part up for sure, though. Okay, I don't want my eggs to breathe, so I'm putting foil over them. But you would put you'd put a cloth over biscuits. You'd put a cloth over fried pies. You'd put a cloth over cornbread, because those are some that you want to breathe. Okay, here are our sausage. All right. We'll take the biscuits out in a second. Okay, they're ready. Let's get the hot pan out. All right, here they are. Here is the square pan. And this is about how brown I like them. Now you can judge on your own. Here's the round pan. And see, they're a little browner than the square pan. And that's because there's two different, they're two different pans, y'all. So I'm gonna take these out and put them on top of here. And then you cover them up. And here's what I'm gonna cover them with, right here. 2 clean cloths. You want them to breathe, because if they don't, they're gonna get soggy. So you put that one over and put another one on the top of it. Keep it nice and warm. And then we are going to head out the door. Y'all can do this. Love you. Bye-bye.